What's breaking? It's your homeboy Ice Block. Simply needed to address a couple of things. You realize everyone been looking at the web. My man C. Williams, most importantly, I simply need to say you realize we shot that film a long time back, so you realize individuals have alternate points of view, and it's been quite a while. Feline Williams had a ton to say in the new meeting with Shannon Sharp on Club N, and that was clarified when the episode was delivered with a running season of more than 2 hours and 30 minutes. There was not a moment squandered during his digital broadcast appearance, and as the meeting proceeded with Feline Williams just proceeded to share an ever-increasing number of dim insights that he felt should have been tended to since the arrival of the web recording. There have been numerous reactions from the individuals who were called out in the meeting. Reactions were made by Kevin Hart, ridiculous, and a lot more, yet one that stands apart to many was Ice 3D Squad and all that he needed to say with regards to this issue. This was a reaction that merited jumping into, so how about we get into it? Ice 3D Square is answering remarks made by humorous author and entertainer Feline Williams about the compensation projecting in a supposed scene in the Friday establishment. This was a subject of discussion that basically started off the whole Club Shay interview. While on the set, Williams didn't keep down when it came to unveiling all that he experienced when he was a piece of the Friday After Next movie. Feline Williams tended to a scene he says he had eliminated from Friday After Next during a meeting on the Club Schwebcast, which broadcasted Wednesday. The entertainer and comic, who made his big screen debut as Cash Mike in the 2002 Stoner parody spin-off The Third in the Friday set of three, said he convinced the studio to discard a scene in which his personality is paper. The issue with Friday After Next is, we're attempting to make an exemplary satire, and this parody includes an N and is never interesting regardless of who it happens to or what the conditions are, said Williams. 52 of the movie, which was coordinated by Marcus Rabe Kidd and composed by Ice Block, the last option of whom likewise repeated his featuring job of Craig Jones. Williams likewise said on the digital recording that he needed to face the challenge before the studios and the cast, and the influence that be in his absolute first film, and say deferentially modestly, folks, assuming re-looking at anything more, I have no validity, and I have no draw except for we're discussing satire where I have all the believability and all the force. He reviewed, if you could permit me to permit us to do this film without an individual of color getting assaulted in it, I guarantee you that it will be 2 times as entertaining as it would be with him getting torn. He said subsequent to making the solicitation to discard the scene, which didn't wind up making it into the film. Williams said he demanded to the producers that Friday After Next would be better without it. The comic told Sharp his ass was hazardous, as it was his absolute first film, yet said he needed to unassumingly consciously demand the adjustment of front of the studios and the cast and the people pulling the strings on the off chance that we're looking at anything more. I have no validity and I have no draw except for we're discussing satire where I have all the believability and all the draw. He went on, yet not an exception. The number of days after the episode was delivered, Ice Solid Shape went on to share his contemplations on everything that was expressed. Ice Solid Shape called this an error by the way he and Williams recollected things by then. In everyone's profession, we will pay attention partially, yet we won't change the film for it. For any entertainer, you realize, he said in the video, we do what we feel. And in the event that it was an assault, it would have been in the film. There was not a great explanation not to shoot it, but rather that is not my style. The rapper and maker took to X, the stage previously known as Twitter, on Friday to address a few assertions made during Williams' new meeting on previous NFL star Shannon Sharp's Club Shay digital broadcast. In a 9-minute video, Ice Solid Shape said he had a ton of adoration for Feline, who supported me a ton, yet he needed to be clear to explain a few things. Ice 3D Shape said the plier joke was dependably in the content. We could never at any point show that. That is not my style, on the off chance that you take a gander at any of my motion pictures. So that was never a conversation. Ice Shape added to Williams' reaction, noticing that the vast majority of the spending plan for the Friday films went into the actual film. A large portion of these folks work several days while you're doing a film. There's north of 100 individuals chipping away at the film that need to get compensated. The vast majority of them got to get compensated each day. There's pre-creation And after creation, even after you wrap up with the acting, you got to pay editors and sound individuals in a said, and my films are about quality, so the greater part of the cash go up on the screen. He proceeded with, I'm not giving you low budget you can giggle at in light of the fact that it's so modest. At one more point in his 9-minute video, Ice 3D Square tended to Williams' composing credits on the Friday threequel, after Williams told Sharp he had been moved toward by the rapper and maker to compose a fourth portion without affirming Williams' guarantee that he was approached to pre-arrange another section. Ice 3D Shape credits Williams for improving the job of Cash Mike that was on the page. Cash Mike played a little part, probably as large as the Snick Claus job, yet when we began recording, William was giving us such wizardry that we continued growing his job and giving me more to do on the grounds that he was spot on. He made sense of, yet we shoot to pre-arrange once we get what we want from the content. We let the joke artists slap together riff, play with the words. Do they think we give them 2-3 takes how they can go off and do what they feel? He likewise explains the set of experiences around giving Williams a role as burglar Santa Claus in Friday After Next, and Williams as Pimp Cash Mike in 2022. Ricky Smiley, the comic who exchanged Friday After Next robber Santa Claus, told the Pierre's Frenzy Room digital broadcast he should be the pimp and feline Will. Liam should be the Snick Claus. Williams addressed Smiley while conversing with Sharp, telling the previous NFL player, I can let you know this, we tried out in Los Angeles. I tried out number 2011 200 dark joke artist. Tried out for the job of Cash Mike with me, he told everyone. It ought to have been my job, Williams added, so taking into account that is the genuine story. How could you raise that story? 35 individuals from the cast have never raised that. Ricky Smiley planned to play Cash Mike as per Ice 3D Shape. Ricky tried Cash Mike out, yet when we saw him and how he moved and how he was trying out, we concluded that he would be a superior Santa Claus, which was to me the ideal projecting. When we saw feline, when I saw him, I recently realized that he was ideally suited for Cash Mike. And there was a whole lot more, yet you get the central matter here. Iceblock was not denying all that feline Williams needed to share, generally only the things that were referenced when it came to Friday After Next, etc. So this has persuaded some to think that perhaps there is loads of truth to what Williams needed to share on the digital broadcast, yet this was not everything that was discussed during his appearance. Feline Williams had a ton to say in the meeting with Shannon Sharp, and that was clarified when the episode was delivered. With a running season of more than 2 hours and 30 minutes, Feline Williams called out big-name VIPs like Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, Cedric, the performer, thus a lot more. He never wanted to stop, and he, at the end of the day, said he was not one who could conceal reality. At one point, Williams told previous Denver Mustangs tight end Sharp that his annuity for reviling in his stage acts has seen him closed out of standard Setchard discussions. He additionally said that Rogan wouldn't need him on his digital broadcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, along these lines. And all reality he needs to share. One of the other enormous names that was gotten down on the meeting was Diddy. At one point, the comic said he left $50 million offers multiple times, all through his vocation to safeguard his trustworthiness, which then moved to him reprimanding Diddy, who has been sued by 4 ladies over claims of paper, including by his ex Cassie, besides his proclamations brought about additional hypothesis since Diddy's new charges of article. Cassie has likewise stood out as truly newsworthy lately. As you can presumably review, Diddy was hit with a sensation $30 million 2 or 3 months prior that blamed him for different horrible demonstrations. Cassie, who documented the claim, asserted that he applied command over her life, including taking steps to